She's alone with her thoughts in the darkness. It's been a day since she attacked the church and killed the priest. It's been a day since she declared that she can find it, no matter where it may be hidden, if it exists. It may not be the case for other servants, but there's no way someone versed in magic like her would not be able to find a relic as holy as the Holy Grail. Then there's only one answer. The Holy Grail was never hidden in this church to begin with. She sighs and puts her fingers on her temple. When she closes her eyes, heavy darkness assails her body. No, it's just a scream. It's not coming from outside. The scream comes from her body and mind, telling her that her fatigue is at the limit. It's been a month since she was summoned. Since then, she's done her best to win. Her master is an ordinary person without a magic circuit, and she's the weakest of the servants. To make up for that, she abused forbidden magic. Collection from the people, the magical strings she placed throughout the town, and the control of the ley line using sacrifices. These are all reasons why she was called a witch during her life. But she's never used them before. She should have never used them, and she didn't intend to do the forbidden. So, why'd she end up using them for a meaningless conflict like this? She became a heroic spirit to take revenge. But she also knows it's meaningless to use the skills that labeled her a witch. She only uses trivial magic. She only created disasters that caused people to destroy themselves with their own greed. That was all the revenge she could manage, so what caused her to stray from her path so much? It is all for the Holy Grail. It is natural for me to go crazy for something that can grant any wish. That's a lie. She knows the true identity of the Holy Grail. She already knows what that thing is and why servants like her are summoned. It's true that most wishes can be granted using the Holy Grail that appears in this town. It will allow her to stay in this world with physical form and allow her to start a second life as a human. But how stupid. There's no meaning in such a thing. Saying so, she closes her eyes. She empties her mind. For now, she lets her guard down and rests her mind. She hears the sound of rain. It was a night without moonlight. The surroundings were pitch black, and she wandered with an empty mind. That is where she met him. With blood-stained body and frozen limbs. A chanced meeting that was more miraculous than any miracle. It was the mountain where the Realta temple is located. Falling rain. She was stumbling aimlessly through the dense forest. She left behind a trail of blood. In her hand was a dagger that breaks all contracts. Her purple robe was wet with rain, and her limbs had turned white from the winter cold. She staggered around, holding onto the trees for support. She walked on, dirtied with mud, her breath ragged, reaching out her hand as if begging for help. She did not look like her usual self, filled with cool composure. No, even the amount of magical energy was unlike her. She was exhausted. She only had a handful of power left. Weird way to phrase that. For a servant, magical energy is like a lifeline that allows them to stay in this world. But that was all lost. No magical energy was coming from her master. But that was only natural. She had just killed her own master. That was the cause of her exhaustion. She, servant Castor, was about to disappear alone as compensation for obtaining freedom. A dry laugh. It's funny that her body was not able to maintain itself and that she betrayed her vulgar master. Moreover, it's quite amusing to see how badly she'd underestimated the relationship between servant and master. She had done well. Her master was a legitimate magus. He was in his 30s, had a medium build, and had few noteworthy characteristics. He had no will to fight, but dreamed of victory. He was a man that only waited for the other masters to kill each other. The man had not trusted Castor. He treated Castor coldly, as she was a superior magus, and he insulted her for being inferior to other servants. She gave up on him after a few days. She acted as an obedient servant and filled the man's conceit. In short, she made him use his command spells for meaningless things. She told him he did not need the command spells.
What?
She made him believe that she would be faithful to her master even without the command spell. It was his fault for believing in her. The master used his third command spell for a meaningless thing and was killed by Castor at that moment. It was easy. She didn't like the fact the contract with him still existed, so she killed him using the rule breaker. But she had made a mistake. Servants exist using supply of magical energy provided by their masters. But not just magical energy. Servants are only allowed to exist in this age by being connected with people of this age. In other words, to lose one's master, the passport to this age means being forced to return to the outside world. But she would not normally be this exhausted. This was the curse her master had left her. Her master did not approve of her, as she was a better magus than he was. Therefore, he limited her magical energy to be always below his level. The magical energy of a mere human cannot keep a servant in this world. She would normally be able to stay in this world for 2 days after losing her master. But now was different. Her magical energy was drastically decreasing with every second, and the end was near. Probably a few more minutes. She would disappear if she could not find her next master in that time. She would disappear before she could fight, unable to do anything. She'd be a pitiful servant, summoned only to be trampled upon. It was vexing. It was vexing, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. It had always been like this for her. She was treated unreasonably like this all the time. She was always used as a tool, and she was never understood by anyone. Yes. Her life was always controlled by someone else. Her mind was destroyed at a young age to save a hero chosen by the gods. Just for the sake of a hero, the goddess of beauty happened to favor. The goddess cursed her to blindly love a man she had never seen. The girl betrayed her father, and she was even forced to betray her own country. There is no memory after that. After everything was over, the girl, who was a princess, was in an unfamiliar country. A girl that betrayed her father, the king, for a man. A witch that cut apart her own brother and threw the pieces into the sea to escape her native country. And the man who wanted it done cast her aside in order to become king, saying he could not marry a witch. She was controlled and taken to an unknown country, was marked as a witch, and the only person she could rely on threw her away. That is her origin. There's nothing people can blame her for, and people around her were aware of that. But still, people continued to demand for her to be a witch. An evil to protect the king. An evil to be on the receiving end of evil superstitions. People wanted a convenient scapegoat that they could blame for any disaster. This pattern's never changed. People demand easily understandable evil to reassure themselves of their own goodness. In that regard, she was the perfect sacrifice. The father she could rely on was in a distant country. Nobody defended her, and people gladly blamed her for all the ugly things in their world.
Jesus.
They decided that every ugliness was the witch's doing. That they're poor. That they hate others. That humans are ugly. And even that people die. Ha. 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 So she merely accepted it. Since she could only live as a witch, she decided to live like a witch. She swore to show them the ugliness of the wishes they demanded of her. If people do not know their ugliness, so be it. They can stay ignorant, go to hell for their own crimes, and suffer forever. They won't be able to get out of hell. They'll suffer forever as criminals because they do not know what crimes they've committed. That is the reason for existence she imposed on herself. That's the only role people gave to the girl, to the one called the witch who never had a free will. But nobody actually wished for such a thing. The same goes for her as well. She seeks revenge against her will without having any wish for herself. Yes, until she met up with this stranger. A rustling sound. She peered ahead, even though she was barely able to stand. It's midnight. Who could possibly come into this forest at this time?
You want me to be him?
Yeah, aren't you usually? I think you always are.
I think we've been flip-flopping based on need.
Because me being caster makes you being him make sense.
Yeah, I think we have done that. Oh my god, okay.
Yeah, good luck.
I've been over here having a good time eating snacks. Just scrolling down. And I was like, shit, of course the first voice I have to do is a fucking dude.
Yeah, I was kind of not ready for caster to be my first voice, but it is what it is.
This is what we left off on. What are you doing there?
It was a heavy voice. She did not have the composure to check who it was. She just thought it was all over. She had no power to use magic. Her purple robe might have looked like a coat, but she was covered in blood. A woman covered in blood was hiding in the rain. It's obvious what such a person did. Anyone would run away first. What would they do after that? They'd either call the police or pretend they hadn't seen it. It didn't matter to her, she could no longer move. That caused the last of her spirit to give out. Her last moment was cold and lonely, just as it was at the end of her true lifetime. Or so she thought. When she regained consciousness, she was in that place. In front of her is that man, the man who she met in the woods.
So you've awakened. Can you tell me your circumstances?
Those are his first words. When she watched the man with blank amazement,
go home if I did a needless thing. If you wish for me to forget about this, I shall do so.
the tone of his voice never changed. That was her first encounter with her master, Kuzuki Soichiro. Kuzuki was a strange man. Should he be called a ghost? He had no reason to live, but had no reason to die. He was just there, and since he existed, he followed whatever whim took him. He has no self. That was her first impression of him, and she thought it would be easy to turn him into a puppet. She grew to realize that the thought was a mistake. Kuzuki Soichiro does not have a past. He has no self because he has no past, but it doesn't mean Kuzuki Soichiro is empty. Kuzuki was a sincere man. He easily accepted her when she told him that she wanted him to be her master and when she told him about her true identity. Do you believe such a story?
Was that a lie?
He accepted it after she told him it was the truth. And the most amazing part was the night they met. As she was about to disappear, she told Kuzuki to lay with her. After making a difficult expression, go for it.
Yeah, listen, I read it in my head and I said, okay.
She clip this one.
Let me ask, do you want it rough or gentle?
After that, he made love to her without waiting for her reply. Then why ask? To put it his way, they had sex before the Buddha. It seemed rough like Asura, but it also seemed gentle like Bodhisattva. Either way, the contract was complete. I'm always going to compare my sex to Buddhist gods, actually. Do you want like an Asura or a Bodhisattva today? What are you feeling?
Oh my god. That's how we formed the contract? We had to have sex?
Well, in fact, I didn't have to.
No wonder she's in love with him.
She obtained a new master, was able to stay in this world, and returned to her role of being a witch. She still considers it to be a miracle. She would have disappeared before she woke up if she wasn't taken to the Ryudo Temple. The Ryudo Temple is a demonic place for servants, but it's a perfect summoning place once inside. As the Ryudo Temple is surrounded by a boundary field, it's suited for keeping anything inhuman. She was able to remain without disappearing because she was brought to the Ryudo Temple. Had it been any place else, she would have vanished after being taken there. I can't believe they threw that into this tone.
I am bamboozled.
It's like I was dying. I was on my last nerves. This man saved me. We boned like Buddhist gods. Like, oh, okay.
You know, it's an analogy we could understand.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. As a result, she obtained the best ley line and the best protection. It's important. She easily occupied the Ryudo Temple, figured out the mechanism of the Holy Grail, and summoned Assassin as the fifth servant. But such things are trivial matters. She was certainly lucky on that night. Many miracles saved her, and she's now on the verge of victory. But they do not deserve thanks. They would have been fine with it even if those miracles had not occurred. There's only one important fact. A very small matter that is trivial for anyone else. For her, the fact she was able to meet Kuzuki Soichiro is a miracle beyond belief. I don't think they needed to bone Nox. I think they just wanted to. But I could be wrong.
She did say lay with me.
Yeah, I mean, she asked him to bone, and he did.
Yeah, I mean, there was consent.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a sexual encounter. It's fine. But it's not going well. No, she feels that everything she does is not going well. Her master would not be delighted with what she did. He's never had an interest in the Holy Grail. She would do her best to grant any wish of his, but Kuzuki Soichiro has none. A one-sided relationship. They do not get along well. It's not going well at all. I don't know who this is.
Do you think it's my husband?
I think so, but I'm really not certain. Next line?
Yeah, okay. Well, now I'm really afraid to keep scrolling. I think
I think it's probably your husband.
Most likely. So the mummy hunter became the mummy? Even the rare witch is fragile, huh?
She turns to the intruder. Yeah, it's not her master that's standing there. It's the...
Ooh! It's your husband!
Okay. Last time,
oh, he stayed
she was
behind.
like, you should join me. And he was like, all right, fuck you, Rin.
Yeah, that's what happened!
And then we went back with no servants. It is the knight in red, Archer, with his true identity still unknown. Archer, I thought I ordered you to keep watch outside. Yeah, but I didn't see any enemies around here. I got bored, so I came to check what was going on in here. I would assume so. The only enemy we have is Berserker. Even with him, we'll go attack them ourselves once Saber is fully controlled. We have had nothing to fear since you joined us. Isn't that why you came to my side? Who knows? Don't you think I only wanted to break my contract with that master? Don't you think I didn't care who my new master was? There is some truth in Archer's words. But what does it mean? Archer had no intention of betraying, but betrayed his master only because he wanted to break his contract with Tosaka Rin. I see. So you did not like looking after that little girl? Well, it is true that servants are dissatisfied with their masters. It is natural for you to run out of patience with yours. No, she was perfect as a summoner, but some miscalculations occurred. And Caster, let me warn you, do not consider all servants to be like you. At the very least, Saber and Berserker were satisfied with their masters. A righteous hero can only be summoned by righteous people. Huh. Why tell me that now? A twisted master calls for twisted heroic spirits. You do not need to tell me that. That's right. Servants are determined by their summoners. Summoners with dark shadows in their mind cannot summon heroic spirits who are on the light side. In that regard, she and Ryder are not heroic spirits. A twisted master calls for twisted heroic spirits. As Ryder was one that was beautiful, she was also one that was pure. It's ironic how the servant Caster summoned is a fictional hero. But it's indeed strange once I think about it. You and Ryder are the ones that oppose heroic spirits, but you two are still summoned as servants. Well, the Holy Grail does not differentiate between good and evil, so I guess I'll summon anyone with powers, huh? Originally, a mixed spirit that had a heroic side would not have been called upon. Things went out of order starting with the Third War. Heroic spirits like Ryder and I were not summoned before that. That does not concern her now. She's not concerned about the true identity of the Holy Grail. Servant Caster's mission is to win this war. She's not interested in what comes after. No, to be honest, that's not the end she wishes for. Enough with the meaningless talk. Get back to your station. I don't care what you're thinking. You are my servant now. Your life is in my hands. Put that into consideration when you talk to me. Understood. Then I shall live up to my master's expectation like an obedient servant. The knight in red goes up the stairs. Seeing him off silently, Caster lets out a long sigh. One more day until Saber surrenders. She does not have the Holy Grail yet, but she'll approach the end once Saber falls. What will happen when the war ends? Caster will make every wish come true with her powers. It's not bad to live as a witch like she swore before dying. But the reason will go away once the war ends. Even if she still has the will, her master will lose the reason to stay as her master. I will obtain the Holy Grail soon. Caster gracefully reaches out into empty space. Her hard work is about to be rewarded, but her expression is like that of a criminal about to be executed. I saw many corpses, and we're back. I died at that time and was reborn. I do not have any regrets. My eyes lost hatred there. My hands lost anger there. My legs lost hope there. Myself lost itself there. Everything went away. It's not because I gave up that I believed nothing would save me. I just found out that it's natural. It's just that dying people will die and survivors will survive. I lay down on the rubble and stared at the burning field. I understood everything then. I thought I understood everything. But I still considered it. How wonderful it would be if I was able to save everything here. That's what I admired. I just wish nobody would have to suffer. That's why I tried to become a superhero. It was simple, and it seemed like an ideal existence. That was why I aimed for it. I knew where I had to be, but there were many ways to get there. I kept on running, wanting to get as close to it as possible, even though I didn't know what was right or wrong. Many paths I took were crooked, and my destination was only getting farther away. I'm taking the long way. I've been repeating this for 10 years since I got saved by Kiritsugu. But I won't regret it. I'm not as skillful as Tosaka. I'll take the wrong path and lose a lot of things at times. But I can't discard them as meaningless. I have to present meanings for everything I've trampled upon and everything that can't be returned. So I can't lose. It can't be helped if I lose against someone else. But I can win against myself. I can always fight back against my mind that tells me to give up. That's all I swore upon. There's only one thing that I believed in and wanted to believe in. That's right. Even if I am walking down the wrong path, I won't regret believing in it. Duh. I wake up from the light shining in. It's before 6 o'clock.
How many times are we gonna have a nightmare about the fucking fire?
Every night.
Every night.
The sky I can see through the window is a clouded one. I get ready and leave my room. My body feels well, and there isn't that much pain from my wound.
Oh yeah, did we get stabbed?
I do think we got hit by someone.
Oops.
Oh.
I failed you!
I shouldn't be a burden to Tosca, even if we end up fighting.
You're here. Are you ready, Shiro?
I'm ready, but Tosca's transformed.
She put on glasses.
She put on glasses.
Clark Kent over here. Who is she? What? You look like a new soldier that just stepped on a mine. Are you not ready yet?
That's not it. Tosca, you look different. Can't put my finger on it. Something about you's changed.
Huh? Oh, these? I only put them on when I do detailed work, so don't worry about it.
Well, I guess it's alright if you say so. What kind of magic is it? It looks so wrong and yet so right.
Putting on glasses is magic? Alright, we're heading to the forest on the outskirts of the town. It's a huge woodland, unkempt and far from the city. It has rejected human interaction for a long time, so the forest is big and wide. You know how there are a few people every year that get lost in there for going in without any preparations, right?
I nod silently. Our destination is the Einsburn Via that's said to be somewhere in that forest. Our fate will be sealed the instant our negotiations fail and we end up fighting. We won't be able to call for help, and it'll be difficult to run away. We can't escape that forest unless we defeat that giant berserker.
Then let's get going. I stayed up all night figuring out where it could be, so we should be able to find it within half a day if we're lucky. We'll take a cab as far as the highway, so get some money ready.
She starts walking with a big bag in her hand.
She's already ready to go.
I follow her with the usual Shinai bag in mind. But, Tosaka, money for the cab is fine. Does that mean we'll be walking back on the way home?
Minerva, sorry, you can't be up here. There you go, in your sidecar.
We rode the taxi for an hour from the town. We drove on the highway, past many mountains, and reached the entrance to the forest. Of course, the forest doesn't have any paved roads. We finally reached the entrance to the forest after walking about 1 kilometer from the highway. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but I get nervous once I actually face it. The forest is dark, even though it's daytime. The tall branches block out the sunlight, and it's hard to see more than a few meters ahead, let alone to the end. I love that they show you this image and they go, the forest is really dark. 'Cause what?
It's super dark, dude. It's great, can't you tell?
God.
Shiro, can you walk ahead for a bit?
Fine, but you're the one who knows where she could be, right? I think it'll do no good if I go ahead. I complain as I enter the forest. Then... what was that? I felt a shock. I pull back my foot.
She fucking played your ass.
I only felt the shock for an instant. It's not that strong, so it'd hurt more if I hit my foot on the corner of a dresser. Well, in short, it was like static electricity.
I thought so. I'm sure it's only for identification, but it seems she has the whole forest under her surveillance.
Huh? Hold on, isn't that bad? That means we got caught in an alarm, right? Then...
I don't think it'll be a problem. We didn't come here for a surprise attack. We came to talk, so it would be in our favor to let them know we're coming. Oh, be careful though, it'll shock you a bit.
I think I was saying that.
Oh, fuck!
It's fine.
We'll say it again!
Oh, be careful though, it'll shock you a bit.
I know. I can tell how bad it is by looking at you.
She waves her hand, steps into the forest. Then...
Ah!
Tuska jumps back with a funny scream. Wow. I hear fire hissing. I want to believe it's my imagination that the leaves under Tuska's feet are scorched. I guess there's personal differences on the alarm. It was light in my case. I calmly analyze the situation. But it doesn't seem like Tuska's listening to me.
That does it, kid! I heard you laughing!
Tuska yells into the empty sky. She's so angry she might go to fight instead of talk. Well, anyway. It seems talking bad about Tuska has failed, no matter how far away you are from her, so I guess I'll refrain from doing so. We walk in the forest. We're the only people in this vast place. I don't hear any beasts, and the grasses are dead like corpses. The endless rows of trees make me think this forest goes on forever. And it's been 3 hours since we entered. Just as our surroundings start to blur together,
Found it. Jeez, I'm still stunned even though I knew about it. They really did build something like that in such a place?
I follow Toska's stare. There's only darkness ahead. Between the trees. There's something unbefitting of these surroundings, visible through a crack so small you'd miss it if you weren't careful. What's that? Is that a wall?
It is a wall. Jeez, what's up with them? They brought that whole thing from their country?
Toska complains and heads to this strange object we can see in the distance. I still can't tell what it is, so I follow her. We get out of the forest. The endless forest quickly ends. No, it seems like the forest is scooped out here with a big spoon. The sky curving above us is gray. A giant dome. It seems more like an underground kingdom than a clearing. This is Eliasviel's dwelling.
It's a fucking castle.
An old castle built within the forest. A solitary castle without any visitors, too big for one girl, not to mention too desolate for anyone to live alone in.
Question. This is our first time here in this playthrough?
Yes.
Okay.
We got kidnapped the other playthrough.
Okay.
Anyway, it does no good to be standing here. According to Tosca, Eliasviel knows we're here. Then we should go in from the front entrance as a sign that we're not here to fight. Let's go, Tosca. Tosca? Tosca's looking up at the castle with an alarmed expression. Her face is tense, as if she's confronting an enemy. Tosca, is there something wrong?
Yeah, there's someone else besides us here.
Of course, this is where Ilya and Berserker live.
That's not what I mean. There's someone else other than that. We're going in this way, Shiro.
Huh? Wait. Tosca starts running towards a big tree by the wall. I don't have time to stop her. No, that's not all. She grabs onto a branch and skillfully climbs up. I look up in astonishment. Tosca looks around and... she jumps and kicks at the castle. A shattering sound. The window breaks and the red figure disappears into the castle.
Come on, there's something seriously wrong with this castle.
Hey, weren't we here to talk? What's done is done. I climb up the tree and jump into a second floor window like Tosca. We enter the hallway. Even before I'm dazzled by the magnificence of the castle, I sense the abnormality Tosca's talking about. I hear sounds of fighting. Swords crashing against each other. But would such a storm-like battle even be possible? Even the most fierce battle of swords, the battle between Berserker and Saber didn't create such sounds. Oh. Then I suddenly realize. This isn't the sound of swords crashing. This is one against many. There's literally a war going on somewhere in this castle. One side has to be Eliasviel. This is Eliasviel's castle. If there's a battle here, it could only be Berserker attacking the intruding enemy. I run. The sound is coming from below us. Considering the location we came in from, the battle's happening right in the center of the castle, in the guest hall. I run through the unfamiliar castle. This isn't the time to be talking. I don't know what's going on, but something terrible is happening. I run down the stairs. The fierce battle's happening nearby.
Okay. Alright, this place is connected to the stairwell down the hall.
Tosca confirms what's down the hallway. The hallway splits at a T-junction, both branches leading to a terrace at either side of the hall.
Let's part here. I'll go from this side, so you go from that side.
It's better to split up. As we are now, we have no way to escape once we're found. There's no point in staying together right now. We don't stand a chance either way. If we're separated, there's hope for the other one to escape, even if one of us is found. Tosca walks down the hallway facing east. I nod and go down the other hallway, the one heading west.
Shiro.
She suddenly calls to me.
You know, right? Don't do anything, no matter what happens. We have no way to fight right now. Run away if you think it's dangerous. Run away even if one of us gets caught. Saving others comes after you save yourself.
That's not how Shira thinks. She suppresses her emotions.
That's why she said it!
It sounds more like a wish than a warning.
Yeah.
I go around and come out into the terrace. I see Tosca emerge on the opposite side. She immediately takes cover, then peeks out. As soon as I follow her example and look down, we both gasp. Shinji? Why is he here? Shinji stands atop of the rubble in the corner of the room, happily watching the scene.
I fucking love Shinji.
No.
He's such a shitter, look at him.
He looks like a shitter.
Yeah.
And he is. That's not the surprising thing. What I have to accept right now is the battle Shinji's observing. The black giant lets out a roar. The swinging axe sword blows up dust and grinds the rubble into powder. The mad warrior appears no different from before. No, his dreadful roar is louder now. The girl in white is behind the giant. Berserker's master, Ilyasvil. An ever-smiling girl, unsuited for murder. But that girl's now shivering and watching her servant with a face almost in tears. Her pale face is desperately trying to deny the despair in front of her.
Little rat girl?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Someone help me!
The girl's trembling lips mouth these words. No way. A storming whirlwind. Berserker's axe sword is repelled each time by the noble phantasm of one servant. The one reigning from the throne of rubble in the center of the hall.
Oh.
Not even armored.
Not even armored.
Many swords are released. Each one of the weapons appearing from behind the man would cause certain death. They attack. They're like gushing water. The infinite noble phantasms not only repel Berserker's axe sword, but pierce his body. Pieces are blown from his body. The sword cuts through his body, penetrates his skull, and pierces his heart. But he still does not die. He's got 12 of those. The giant regenerates every time he is killed, slowly but surely moving forward. 8 times already. He's been killed so many times, but Berserker still moves forward. The enemy greets him with a smile. The tragedy continues. Berserker's killed without even being able to go near the enemy. No way. It's not because Berserker's getting killed without being able to do anything. That man, that servant is beyond belief. The infinite noble phantasms he sends out are each a true noble phantasm. I can tell since I projected Archer's swords. They are the originals of every noble phantasm, the first ones from before they became legend. Who could he be, having an infinite supply of such weapons? No, first of all, there should only be 7 servants. Then he's the 8th one? Someone that shouldn't exist. I can't breathe. Berserker defies description. His body of steel and his superhuman strength and his regenerative powers on top of that, he's not someone you can match. But the 8th servant does not retreat from such an opponent and overwhelms Berserker using the demonic swords and the holy swords he releases. When I look up, I can see that Tosca's pale as well. It's only natural. The place below us is a land of death. We'll die instantly if we enter it. No, more than that. He's a demon. He has a brutality different from Berserker. That man wishes for battles only to kill others. But with such an enemy in front of him, the Black Giant is still the strongest. He doesn't stop even if he's pierced or slashed all over his body. He receives the Rain of Noble Phantasms, regenerates each time, and closes in on his enemy. It's an advance devoid of tactics. He's not thinking about countering the enemy's attacks. It's a savage fight where he advances on his enemy as long as he still lives. He will not reach the enemy. Berserker's brute courage will prove futile, and he will end his life as a mere target. The enemy understands that. That is why he's standing there and provoking the foolishly advancing giant. The Black Giant does not have a way to win. It's something the enemy and even I understand. And probably even Berserker himself knows that. But the giant keeps walking forward. He knows no retreat and does not avoid the attacks. The man greets the figure with a smile.
This is my husband.
Yeah, it is.
Ha! As expected from dog shit. You can only fight. I had hopes for you as a fellow demigod, but it seems I expected too much.
The noble phantasms emerge from space. Letting out a laugh, he readies the noble phantasms behind him.
Ah! Then let me finish you off now. It'll be unpleasant for you to come any closer.
At his signal, the numerous full noble phantasms descend on the giant. The giant repels most of them, and at the same time loses most of his life. The black giant shakes. The body of rock starts to fall. But the giant stands his ground and shakes the noble phantasms from his body. What? Oh. Sorry.
What?
The exclamation of surprise comes from the strange servant. The black giant destroys the swarm of noble phantasms and moves towards his enemy. His body is dying already. With a hopeless fatal wound, the black giant still advances. It's the result of a strong will. It's not madness resulting from being a berserker. The giant faces this hopeless fight with an iron will.
Damn, the mere target survived my attack?
The magical bullets are fired mercilessly. Repelling it with his axe sword, the giant corners the man with his body slashed and with his limbs pierced. He will not reach the man. But he still challenges the man because there's something he can't give up. Then what is he moving forward for? Servants fight for their master to protect the master's life. That's why the giant does not retreat. He can only move forward as a shield to protect the frightened master behind him. The giant continues his foolish advancement. It's because he knows that he needs to take all the attacks in order to beat that servant without having his master killed. And when he reaches his enemy, that's when he wins. From the beginning, that has been this battle's nature. The man has to kill the giant before he reaches him. The giant has to approach the man before his life ends. It's a battle where the one to accomplish their goal is the one to win. I'd argue that's most battles. The giant is aware of that. Even if it's a battle with no hope of victory from the start. He roars. Coming out of his 10th death, his body explodes forward. He charges into the man like a bull challenging a matador.
You lowlife.
Numerous arrows are released. Was it his last charge, or did he just get used to the attacks? The giant repels all the arrows. He approaches the owner of the noble phantasms. He swings his axe sword. The weapon that has not yet been raised against the man rips through the air. That's you.
Is that my husband, you, or Ilias, you? Okay.
No, it's Gil.
Heaven's chain!
The black bull is captured by numerous appearing chains. What kind of a noble phantasm is it? The chain that appeared out of nowhere confines Berserker as if binding space itself. The chain twists Berserker's arms and bends in the direction they shouldn't go. The chains tighten mercilessly, trying to tear off the rock-like head.
Damn, you still won't die? This chain once bound the Bull of Heaven, but even this does not seem to be enough to finish you.
The man's voice. The hall is filled with the creaking sounds of the chain. It must be Berserker's power. The giant tries to break the chain that binds even space itself. Even if it sounds impossible, I'm sure the giant will be able to manage it. And the man acknowledges that as well.
No! Come back, Berserker!
The girl screams. Iliasfiel commands Berserker to retreat using her command spell. But the giant is still bound by chains, unable to move an inch.
Why? I told you to come back inside of me, so why? It is useless, you puppet. Not even the gods can escape these chains. No, it'll become stronger the more divine one is. This is a chain made to bind the gods. I will not allow transportation through a command spell.
And so, the man points to the giant as if to denote the end. Detonate the end.
They don't get that reference.
That was for you.
Oh!
It's over. It really ends. It's like PowerPoint transition.
Yeah, fucking honestly, dude.
Bound by chains, he receives 22 noble phantasms on his defenseless body. The black giant falls silent after becoming a grotesque object. I don't even need to check if he's alive or not. Even if he is a great hero that overcame 10 deaths, he should not be able to get up after receiving 20. Yes. Even if he's alive, he should not even have the power to breathe. And the battle ends. It was known from the start who was going to win. Berserker can't beat that servant. Servants cannot beat that man so long as they're heroic spirits. All heroic spirits have things they were weak against when they were alive. Those are their greatest weak points. Then, what if there's a hero who possesses all the noble phantasms, even the ones that killed each hero? This is the result. Even if he may have been stronger, he can't beat that man.
No! No, Berserker!
The girl in white runs to the giant corpse. Seeing it, the man mercilessly slashes the girl with the sword in his hand. A scream. The man slashes her eyes in one blow.
Oh my god.
I'm guessing you don't remember this scene.
I don't! Oh my god!
And he pierces her heart. But it misses. No, he made it miss. The girl is pierced in her lung and coughs up blood. The chains are broken. Shattering his binds, the black giant charges at the man. The man pierces a slow-moving target. A lance to pierce the heart. He impales the giant with a lance very similar to Gabolg. That's it. The black giant dies for sure this time. The sword is pulled out from the girl. Leaving traces of red, the girl crawls to the unmoving giant. Watching it in delight, the man walks forward. He throws down his sword. He will use his bare hands to finish off the dying girl. I'll die. I'll probably die. I'll surely die this time. There's no logic behind that servant. He will kill anyone that hinders him. I will surely be killed if I don't get away from here before he finds me. And die.
We're gonna save him, right? We're gonna save her, right?
I think we die if we try to save her, but
we got. Are we actually gonna run?
Well, I think restraining yourself is like watching. But
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing, right? Because obviously there's the Shiro that puts himself in danger, and every time we try to not put ourselves in danger, bad things happen, and we were supposed to put ourselves in danger. Not only that one time we were supposed to go on the roof.
Yeah, I do remember that. Maybe try it.
So like,
I assume it won't be a super drawn out scene if we die here. You can try to stop him. It's your call.
well, I know that we can't stop him, and Rin said, "Don't you fuck around." So I think that we're supposed to restrain ourselves, but there's a part of me that, like, logically, I'm like, we're supposed to restrain ourselves, but because this game has bamboozled me, I feel like we're supposed to pick the other thing.
Try it.
We're
Sounds like fun.
Stop the man.
Yeah, try it. Why not?
Also, I can't believe he fucked up Elias Field that hard. I forgot.
It is the most burned into my brain scene of like the anime.
I watched Unlimited Bladeworks in 2014.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, I do not remember him just absolutely clapping this Whoopi, no.
Cut her fucking eyes out.
God, bro, he's just like. All right, we're gonna stop him. We're gonna get instantly fucking clapped. I saved him. Right?
Yeah, you did. I think so.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. My frozen body bursts. My feet lift me up and my arms grab the railing at the same time. I see Tosca as I do so. She's biting her lips in anger while watching the tragedy below us. I know. Tosca wants to stop him as well. But we'll be the ones to be killed if we do so. She can't stop him. That goes the same for me as well. I know it's stupid of me to die trying to save a dying girl. I don't care about that. I just can't leave her be. That's all that fills my mind. I jump down over the railing. Tosca and Shinji both look in surprise at the intruder, but the man does not even look at me. The man reaches for the girl's body. Stop! I yell. I stop him with all my might.
Oh?
The man stops his arm. And he slowly turns to me like death that found its new prey.
What?
Well, we got an interlude, so maybe that was the right option.
Oh my god, was I right? There's no
maybe.
way.
I don't remember.
I don't know anything.
I think we usually don't get interludes, but maybe. No, I think we have before. I don't know.
We're about to find out.
Going back over a month. He was summoned into this world before anyone. He was not summoned in this country. A faraway foreign land. The land is always covered in white, the sky is always gray, and the castle is built within a hidden mountain. It is always winter in that land. Coldness and stagnation, barrenness and longing. As they cut all ties with the present world and await the reproduction of the miracle, they're like living corpses. The cold winter air steals their human warmth. And the stagnant world does not allow them a new lifestyle. The family is the seeker of the Holy Grail. Spring does not come for the Einsburn family until their wish is fulfilled. It has been 10 centuries since they started the search for the Holy Grail. As they used every possible method to attain their goal, they were eventually able to forge the Holy Grail. But even then, all they can build is the vessel. The divine mystery that should dwell in there is empty, and they keep building vessels that will never be filled. But a foreseeable end comes to them. They perform a ritual to fill the vessel with help from outsiders. The result is both a success and a failure. The Holy Grail is made. The Holy Grail should be filled with that method. But they make many enemies at the same time. Even though they should be the owners of the Holy Grail, they've been degraded down to common magi that donate help. Their tenacity is abnormal. No, they've been obsessed since that time 1,000 years ago when they almost obtained the Holy Grail. They broke the rules and constantly pulled out the strongest card. In the first one, they didn't have time to do such a thing. In the second one, they finally found a loophole in the rules. In the third one, they summoned what they shouldn't have. And in the fourth one, they were sure of their victory, having the strongest card and its master. The result was a total failure. The servant and the master they selected betrayed them. The man destroyed the Holy Grail, leaving behind his daughter in the Winter Castle. They were infuriated with the man's betrayal, and they lamented their mistake. Outsiders cannot be trusted. Their family, with their perfected magic circuits, will be the only ones to obtain the Holy Grail. They had insurance to begin with, and on the fifth one, they finally prepared the strongest master and servant. It was him. 2 months before the Holy Grail War began, every rule was broken for him, Berserker, to be summoned. The days that followed were to only hurt the master. The command spell engraved all over the girl was used to control Berserker. It did no good as a magic circuit and only drained her life away. Even the slightest move on Berserker's part caused the girl to scream in pain. It was only natural. The Holy Grail would appear in 2 months. The only things keeping him in this world were the girl's magical energy and her command spell. Berserker was not created for the magical energy of the Holy Grail. Even if the girl may have been special, to keep Berserker in this world using her own magical energy was like having her life taken away. Knowing that, they still did not allow for her to rest. They abandoned them in the winter forest filled with hungry beasts. They gave them over to possessed corpses. They threw them in a waste yard full of failures. The only way for the girl to survive was to rely on the giant she'd been given. She survived the training that was more like torture. She would let the giant attack the oncoming enemies. She would let out screams of anguish, but she allowed him to attack every one of her enemies. He does not know himself. When the process became a special one for him. In contrast to her young appearance, she hated whining. Everything that came out of her mouth was an insult. She must have instinctively known that if she was going to murmur something, she would get stronger when she would insult and hate someone. The girl scorned Berserker for being ugly and cursed his existence. It was only natural. The girl would not have had to suffer if he had not existed. She would not have been thrown in hell if she had not been chosen as a master. The girl insulted the giant every chance she got and used him to take out her anger. The pain had lessened by the time she mastered Berserker's control, which was when the Holy Grail showed signs of its appearance. The girl took away the giant's sanity as if in revenge, treating him as a mad warrior. But he already knew this was the girl's desperate opposition. The girl did so to hide her weakness. She walked with pride as if saying that she could live alone. And that she did not need any friends or collaborators. It was a bluff to ignore the fact that she was fated to have nothing.
This is...
Ilya.
Yeah, no, just the music.
Oh.
You're strong, Berserker.
The winter forest. The girl timidly touching the arm covered in blood. Surrounded by hungry beasts, the girl was prepared for her death, but desperately denied it. At that time, he was not able to move without an order from his master, and he was the first to be attacked by the beasts. The beast bit off pieces of his neck, head, and limbs. With the scene in front of her, the girl screamed. As he had his sanity taken away, he can't recall what she said back then. But the girl yelled not for her sake, but for his. Even though her body was destroyed whenever he swung his arm, she endured it for his sake. That's why they were both covered in blood. The giant was covered in the beast's blood, and the girl was covered in her own blood. He remembers this winter forest. The weight of the girl that rested on him, crying tears of anguish. And he realized, in that small, cold castle, he was the only one she talked to.
No! No, Berserker!
Her figure appears in his vision. It's just like that time, the tears he did not see on her since she became a complete master. The girl's running to him in tears. And the man slashes her. The golden foe gashes her eyes with a single slash, taking away her light forever. Her face is covered in red. She still runs in spite of that, but falls over a piece of rubble as her eyes are cut. The slender body falls over. There. The enemy sword is brought down. The sword misses her heart. The girl is coughing up blood as her lung must have been pierced. It's not instant death, but it is fatal. With her eyes slashed, her lung pierced, and her servant eliminated, she has nothing now. So she should at least die peacefully. It might be a salvation if she would just go to sleep right there. But...
Huh? It hurts. It hurts, Berserker!
The girl crawls, leaving traces of blood. Crying in pain, she crawls towards the black giant. How much power was left in him? Breaking the chains with all his might, he charges at the man.
Huh.
The demonic lance is thrust. The heart-piercing lance impales the giant. That ends it. The man pulls out the lance as if nothing has happened. The remaining power in the giant completely disappears. His body disappears. All the power that was giving his body form has disappeared. So all that's left for him is to disappear. As he ran out of magical energy, there's no way for him to stay in this world. He falls. But in his last living moment, he sees the girl fumbling around for him. Power returns to his falling body. The law of magic that constructed him. The regulation of the world that hates inconsistencies. The body that is crumbling away like sand.
You're strong, Berserker.
He pushes aside all powers trying to eliminate him, using his own power of will. He can't disappear yet. He's probably the only one she relied on. He has to answer the solitary girl that believed in him, although she insulted him.
Where are you? I don't know. It's so dark, Berserker.
With her eyes slashed, the girl crawls with her hands stretched out. She must want to feel him, but she can't see now. The blood-stained hands grope through empty space, trying to verify his presence. There's no power left in him. There's nothing he can do. Berserker will fall here and die here. His body has died and there's no power left to support him. So I'm fine. I won't lose to anyone. Oh. This is an Ilya quote.
Oh.
I don't know how we do these.
Right? So I'm fine. I won't lose to anyone as long as I have you, Berserker.
But that cannot be allowed. His mind is dead. Supporting his body with his will that should no longer exist, he parts from this world. His body is still standing, just as it was when he was invincible. As if to say, his body has to be invincible until the very last second for the girl that depended on him. And the girl reaches him. The hand that was grasping through empty space finally touches something.
Oh.
Coughing up blood, the girl crawls to the hard figure. She can't see, but she can still feel him. Berserker hasn't lost yet. She can't see anymore, but Berserker's still strong, like always.
That's good, Berserker. Stay there, okay?
Strength fades from her body. She's hurt and scared, but it's alright as long as he's here. He always protected her. He was scary, but he was really kind. His big body was like that of a dad, and she wanted for him to pick her up once more.
I'm not scared anymore, even though it's dark. You're strong, Berserker. I'm safe if you're like that.
She rests her body on him. It feels as though he'll rest one of his big, solid hands on her head. It's probably true. He should be patting her head when she opens her eyes.
It's a bit cold.
Her body is cold. Recalling the forest from that time, the girl smiles. It happened so long ago. Recalling the giant that protected her even when injured, the girl peacefully falls asleep. I think this is the right choice, because I don't think they would have given us all of that for the wrong one.
Oh, yeah, honestly, and my heart, hello?
Yeah, it's sad. That's brutal. There was one time where you said, I don't really remember anything sad happening in Fate that could compare to Fate Zero, and I was thinking of this exact thing, like, okay.
Bro, I think all the sad things in Fate Zero, because I watched it second, stand out significantly more in my memory.
Right. No, this stuff's brutal. It's very dark. The man reaches out for the girl that went to sleep. Stop! I yell. I don't consider the personal danger, nor what could happen to me.
Oh?
The man stops. Behind him stands Shinji, surprised at the sudden intruder. The man smiles ominously. Stop! My shaking throat speaks up before I can think. But there's no way that man will stop.
What?
I couldn't even tell him to stop. The man pulls something out of the girl with a smile. A red, dripping object that looks like a fruit. The thing in the man's hand is the girl's heart. My mind burns down. Fear of being killed mixes with my desire to kill him.
So there was an audience. I understand how you want to observe my gallant figure, but...
With the girl's heart in his right hand.
Watch what you say. No one gives orders to a king, you mongrel.
He shoots off one of his numerous noble phantasms at me. The terrace falls. The man's noble phantasm destroys the wall of the castle. I don't move at all. I don't care about the rubble falling down. I don't have time to run, and I have no intention of running. I don't care even if a big piece of debris scratches against my back. I can't think of looking away from that guy now.
Oh, so it's Saber's master.
His red eyes react to my enmity. My blood is boiling. I'll die in the next instant. There's no way I'm not afraid of that. But my body refuses to run away and keeps screaming to defeat that enemy. That girl's corpse keeps ordering me not to forgive that man. It's only natural for me to lose all reason. My mind churns with conflicting impulses towards life and death.
It seems you have a will to fight, but that is nothing. You are worthless without Saber.
A sword appears in his left hand. The sword is mercilessly raised and should come down to kill Miyashiro. I keep glaring at the enemy. I can't even think about showing my back to him.
Oh, hold on, I know this guy.
The man's sword stops. Shinji, who is watching from the other side of the wall, walks to the center of the hall.
Yo, long time no see, Emiya. I didn't expect to see you here, so I'm a bit surprised.
The man does not move. There's about 10 meters between us. Would I be able to get near him? Even Berserker could not close this distance.
Oh, are you so scared that you can't talk? Well, I understand how you feel. I was like that when Ryder got killed. Yeah, that's right. I'm glad you let me go back then.
There's nothing I can use as a weapon. But I don't care. My head is clear right now. I don't feel any uneasiness about projecting his swords right now.
Hey, I'm telling you to look at me.
I slightly shift my gaze in his direction. I look at Shinji while keeping the man in my view.
That's right, so you do know who's the most powerful here.
Groan. I gasp. It's not because what he said. It's unexpected he's saying so from the bottom of his heart.
That's right, so you know, right, Emiya? You'll die now.
How out of place. Why say something that's so obvious?
It's like when you're already on your way to your room and your parents tell you to go to your room and you're like, fuck, I was already doing it.
Shut up, Mom.
Shut up, Shinji! Sorry, I didn't introduce him to you yet, but he's my new servant. He's more amazing than Ryder, right?
Shinji puts his hand on the man's shoulder.
Bold!
And with a delighted face.
Beg for your life, Emiya. I might consider it.
He says something unimaginable. I refuse. I do not hesitate. I answer right away without showing any signs of even considering it.
Fine, then you can die.
All of Shira's conversations with Shinji are so good.
God,
Someone's like, fuck
so
off.
Much.
Shinji jumps back. The man, still with a cold expression, finally brings his sword down. I think I know who this is.
Hints? Is it
That's
me?
my voice.
It's you? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hold on. I won't guarantee your master's life if you move an inch. And the man stops his sword once again. Oh, I was wrong.
Oh, it's
I was
me!
so wrong. I was so wrong. Ignore me.
Should I go back?
Everyone looks up. That was funny. I don't care.
That was a really deep voice, Rin. You okay? She's hoarse from crying.
Everyone down the hall turns his attention to the girl on the terrace. Tosuka's hand is aimed at Shinji. Even though Shinji's not a magus, he should know what that means. Tosuka's serious. If the man brings down his sword, she'll kill Shinji as retaliation.
Tosuka? Why are you here?
She doesn't answer, but just keeps her aim on Shinji.
What? Are you really going to shoot me, you murderer? You're the one who killed first. Well, I don't care about that. The right to kill and be killed are the same. You should know that with your human instincts, even if you're not a magus.
Shinji retreats weakly, being stared down by Tosuka. And... the man just watches in delight. He looks at Tosuka. Then... I think there was a strange shaking for an instant.
I see. You know you will not be able to kill me, so you went after the master instead. You brought on the negotiation because you know I would not stop even if you killed my master. That's right, you wouldn't stop even if I killed Shinji, but you can consider it in this situation, right? You can save Shinji right now. If you're a servant, it should be a hard blow for you to lose your master. Ha! I see. You are pretty clever. That is your only option if you want to save that mongrel.
His sword disappears. He turns his back to me as if he's lost interest.
What are you doing? Who told you to stop? No.
Sorry, you're right.
No, the situation has changed, Shinji. She will be perfect as the vessel. Huh?
Shinji stops breathing. His face, filled with irritation, suddenly turns into a dirty smile.
Oh no. I see. Wow, I'm glad you're still alive, Tosuka. That is Tosuka, right?
I think so.
I see. I'm relieved as well. I've known you for a long time, even though you're like that. It'd be discouraging to have you dead already.
Laughing, Shinji claps his hands. It's so strange. Shinji shows no fear, even though Tosuka can end his life. It seems an overwhelming joy is numbing his emotions.
Oh well, with that aside, how about it, Tosuka? Do you want to forget about Emiya and team up with us? Us? That's right, you should know that Castor is stocking up power. The Realta Temple is the altar this time. It's a bit unfavorable for us if she's taking position there and stocking up magical energy.
Shinji says this with both hands raised. That's an obvious fact. If I have to add, it seems Shinji doesn't know Castor obtained Saber and Archer.
You can tell, right? There's that much chance of victory by myself. I'd be Berserker's master, but this isn't enough. We can make one that will even beat Castor if you join us.
Shinji invites her with confidence. To that...
I refuse, Shinji. I don't know who you're connected with. There's no way I would follow a guy that is being used.
Tosca refuses him without twitching a brow.
What? Can't you tell? I'm warning you since I've known you for a long time. You should get some intelligence to observe what's going on around you. You're the only one who considers Mato Shinji to be a master. Don't you realize by now that you don't have talent as a magus? You...
Shinji's face stiffens up. The harsh words must have caused him to forget that his life is in Tosca's hands.
Do it, Gilgamesh! Kill Emiya and Tosaka!
Shinji orders his servant.
What? I told you to kill them! It should be easy for you to kill them before I get killed! No, this is too bad, but we are out of time. It will not... it will rot if we take any more time.
The man shows Shinji, who's walking up to him in anger, what is in his right hand. A red piece of meat. It's the still throbbing heart he ripped out of that girl.
I made the sound as loud as I could.
Oh, I couldn't hear it. It might have peaked or something. I just didn't hear anything.
I was
Shinji
like,
grits his
I
teeth
gotta
in
do it again.
Gah.
Damn, don't regret it, Tosaka. I won't let you be on my side now.
Shinji runs towards the gate. The other one stays. And after watching his master disgraceful behavior...
So that is it. You have a good friend.
With those delighted words, he leaves the room filled with rubble.
That seemed suspiciously easy.
Well, the heart was gonna rot.
There?
And we walked to her. The center of the hall. With the sunlight coming in from the ceiling, the girl's sleeping amongst the rubble. Her eyes will never open again. Looking closely, the girl's not white at all. She has red all over her, and she looks nothing like she did before.
It's not your fault. You know, right? We couldn't have saved her.
I know. I've been taught that there are people I can save and people I can't save. I know it'll put my own life in danger if I try to do something beyond my capabilities. But still, I still wanted to save her. I don't want a child dying in front of me. I don't want anyone dying in front of me. It's more painful and scary than anything else not to be able to save someone asking for help. There's no way I can apologize. I don't know her well enough to apologize to her. This girl's unrelated to Emiyashiro. I know that without having to be told, so why? Oh. Why are these eyes crying? Why? Oh, oops.
Why?
Tosaka?
Why? Should have known we'd be killed if we appeared in front of him. So why did you try to save Eliasville? No matter what the results may be, she was our enemy. So how can you go so far for her sake?
Is it an inquiry? Tosca's eyes are serious. I have no reason. I stopped him because I just wanted to save her. There's no other way to explain it. After glaring at me.
I see. I thought you were abnormal before, but I'm sure now. Girl, your way of life is really distorted.
She tries to open a lid that I've kept closed for so long. Distorted?
That's right. It's wrong to live thinking that others are more important than you. Look, I'm not talking about the common opinion that we save others so we can be loved. With such hypocrisy aside, we have to put ourselves first. Well, there are people with others as their priority. Oh.
Oh, no, you're right. There's no quotes on the new page. It's weird.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
But you're something special that you can't put on the scale. It's like the scale itself. So why do you try to destroy that scale to save someone you don't even know? Yes, if you truly were a person who was merely alive, such self-denial would be fine. You can't do that. You can't pretend you are not living for yourself when you have such a strong sense of personal conviction and self-awareness. If you continue something like this, you'll eventually break down.
No way. I can't break down. I'm doing this so that I won't break down. I'm trying to save people that I couldn't save so that I can hold my head high.
No, you're broken already. So tell me, I don't know what happened to you 10 years ago, but that must be why you're so screwed up.
Tosuko looks like she's crying. Why does she have to make a face like that? It's as if she knows I'll live a thankless life, so she's trying to stop me.
You were like this at school. You were so calm in front of all those bodies. Even I mistook them for corpses, but you knew right away that they were alive. I always thought that it was strange. You never had proper training as a magus, but you got calm every time you got into a fight to the death. You would get enraged by seeing corpses, but you didn't feel any shock or disgust. Probably because this is something you got so used to seeing. You saw something gruesome 10 years ago, right?
I got used to seeing them? Well, it's true that it wasn't my first time seeing a corpse. The student at school, Ryder who got her neck twisted off, and even this girl sleeping in front of me now, I think they've died a natural death compared to that time. But she's wrong. The fire 10 years ago saved Emiyashiro. That can't be the main reason why Tosuko's criticizing me now. That's wrong, Tosuka. I was saved, that's all.
Saved? You were saved from the fire 10 years ago? And that was by Emiya Kiritsugu?
Yes, but that's it. That isn't the reason for anything. My heart aches when I answer. My body's telling me that it's a lie.
And was there something else? Something you're always regretting or something Emiya Kiritsugu took from you as compensation for saving you?
There's no such thing. Kiritsugu merely saved me, and you talk about taking something from me. But at that time, I had nothing to give. I saw many corpses. I died at that time and was reborn. I don't have any regrets. My eyes lost hatred there. My hands lost anger there. My legs lost hope there. My self lost itself there. So why? Why do I have this self-consciousness that Tosuka speaks of? I've accepted death. I knew I was going to die. Even if my body was saved in that situation, there's no way my mind could have been saved as well. At that time, I was empty and I just admired something sacred. Oh, that's right. I remember now. No, I didn't even put it into my memory. So I didn't realize until now that it's what really saved me.
Jiro, did he make you establish a contract or something?
No, he didn't take anything away. I only received. A world like hell. In the place where everyone but me died, I was saved. Nobody saved me and I wasn't able to save anybody. And at the very end, he granted something that I thought was a miracle. I remember those eyes that looked down at me and the voice pleading for me to live. At that time, I thought not about the fact that I was saved, the fact that someone's there to save me. The fact itself is... it's so wonderful and it's such a miraculous thing. That's why I admired it. I had nothing, and there was nothing remaining in me. I admired the first thing that came into my sight. So that's the only thing I had. That's the only emotion I felt after I was saved. I was happy. I cried. That's all I could think about. So that's all the emotion I could create. Yeah, you're probably right. It's distorted for me to put priority on others before me. There's something seriously wrong with the procedure. But I was the only one who got saved. I thought about it at that time. That if such a thing happened again, I would save everyone in place of all those I couldn't save then.
I'm telling you, that's crazy! Look, if you were saved, take care of yourself. I'm sorry for the people who got killed, but it's only by chance that you were saved. And you should take full advantage of your good fortune. You suffered such a hell, so it'll be a waste if you don't have fun.
Tosca's seriously angry. Yeah, that makes me happy. I finally realize now because Tosca's that kind of person. The question I've been wondering about all by myself. I wanted to be a superhero, and I always tried to help others. I knew there was something wrong with the method, but I did not understand what. But it's so clear now. It's because of this person that's seriously angry for my sake.
What? You still don't understand after I've told you this much? You really make me mad. If you're really that stupid, I'll break my alliance.
I know. I told you you're right, didn't I?
Then...
But I can't listen to your warning. I realize there's something wrong with me, but it's alright. Because there's no way that wanting to help people could be a mistake. So, I answer with as much gratitude as I can possibly put in.
Jeez, I can't say anything if you make a oh. Well, now I feel like that's you.
Jeez, I can't say anything if you make a face like that.
It might be me, though.
Could be. Maybe it got awkward as Tosca turns and walks away. And then...
Well, I guess it can't be helped. I guess I'll do something about it.
She sighs as she says this. The sun is setting. We return to the hall when the sky turns red. The corpse of the girl is not on the mountain of rubble. We just buried her in the courtyard. I don't know if it's normal for servants, but the black giant turned into sand. But we put the sand in the same coffin as the girl.
Well, do you have any ideas on what to do now?
I'm still thinking. That could be flipped.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
On the second line?
Yeah.
I'm still thinking. The situation just got worse. I can't think unless I get this sorted out. Oh, fuck, dude.
Yeah. The strongest enemy, Helios and Berserker, are gone, but an unknown foe came out in their place. There should be 7 servants, but he makes 8, right? He's not a servant that should exist. How did Shinji make a contract with such a guy? An 8th servant, huh? I don't think we can treat that man as a servant. He's a heroic spirit that dominates all others. He has a seemingly infinite supply of noble phantasms. He's a devil without any human emotion.
Me? You?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, that one was me.
Let me scroll up.
Gilgamesh. That's the hero appearing in a myth of ancient Mesopotamia, right?
Yeah, he's half human, half god. He's the king of Uruk?
Yeah.
And the seeker of immortality. He is said to be the tyrant that obtained everything in this world, but I didn't think he was that crazy. Did I continue?
Yeah, I think that sounds like you.
He defeated Berserker so easily, so he might be stronger than Saber even if she has her true powers released. Ow, ow, ow! Sorry.
Tosca doesn't sound as sharp. It doesn't seem like it's because there's a new enemy. What's wrong? You sound like you want to say something.
Well, he was certainly strong. He has so many noble phantasms, so he's powerful, right? But I'm wondering how it really is. I felt that there wasn't much difference between him and Berserker.
She ponders. Huh? Could it be that Tosca doesn't know about his powers? That's gotta be you still, I think.
No, he himself is about as strong as Saber or Berserker, if not weaker. First of all, heroic spirits are as strong as their fame in the place they're summoned, right? There aren't many people here that know about Gilgamesh.
Fuck. What's that?
Yeah, now I think we're flipped.
Yeah.
So I think this is actually me.
Yeah.
That's true, but the change in power from popularity isn't that big. It seemed to me like that Goldie had an unfair advantage.
Tosca calls him by a strange name. Well, with that aside, he did. All the noble phantasms he has are real. No, they're all originals of the real ones. Gilgamesh is a hero in the oldest myth, and he was a king that indulged in every possible luxury. But it shouldn't be strange for him to own all the originals of the legendary weapons.
Oh, then what? The noble phantasms he used weren't noble phantasms, but just weapons?
I'd assume so. I bet his noble phantasm is his treasury. I think his noble phantasm is the treasury where he kept all the weapons he collected during his life.
I see. Then it's natural that Berserker couldn't beat him. Every heroic spirit has a weak point. If he has the originals of every noble phantasm, he just needs to take out the one that is the most effective against his enemy.
That's right. If there's a chance of victory, it's that he's not a master of these weapons. He's not a wielder that has mastered his weapon to the limit, so I think there's still a way to beat him. But with all that aside... Hey, Tosca, this has nothing to do with this, but why'd you call him Goldie?
I guess, he had golden hair?
What are you saying? You should have called Saber that if that's the case. It seemed like you said it with a lot of meaning behind it. I think you noticed something, right?
Huh?
Don't hide it now. You noticed something, right?
You're wrong. It's something serious like you're thinking, so don't worry too much about it.
Don't lie. You wouldn't call him Goldie for nothing. Come on, Tosca. I want as much information as possible right now. I stare at Tosca. After a few seconds, she sighs as if she's given up.
Well, he had many valuable-looking things, right? So I just thought he's really rich. That's why I called him Goldie. He looks like he's living a luxurious life, right?
Tosca scratches her cheek while looking away. How scary. It seems anyone who's rich is called Goldie by Tosca. What's more scary is that Tosca figured out the servant's true nature just because he seemed rich.
Anyways, that's another troublesome guy. There's not supposed to be an eighth servant, so he would be the Joker. I want to question Kirei as the supervisor, but I don't know his whereabouts. Well, we have to postpone that since Castor is more important right now.
That's right. Castor's obtaining more power as we speak. Saber shouldn't be able to oppose Castor's control much longer. No. In the worst case, Saber could already be under her control. Yeah, we couldn't get Iliasfield's help. That doesn't mean we can't let them be. We'll just have to think of a way to beat Castor with the two of us.
Yeah, we don't have any ideas, but we'll have to.
She sighs and sits on the rubble.
Phew, I never thought we'd have a strategic meeting at a castle.
I follow Tosca's lead and sit down. Well, we'll have a bed to sleep in here.
Uh-oh.
If we're lucky, we might even find some magical item of Iliasfield's.
Don't say it like that!
And the moment we let our guard down... I got it this time. Get real. You're gonna defeat them just by yourselves. That's impossible, you idiots. A stunned voice comes from the front entrance. We jump up and turn to face the speaker. Fuck!
Ooh! Ooh! Where is it?
Yeah.
Fucking go! Oh, we know this, right?
You know who he is in the prologue, I think. Since that night, huh? It's great you two are still hanging in there.
Lancer? Oh.
I quickly concentrate and connect my magic circuit. He's certainly Lancer. He speared my heart on that night 10 days ago. I can't let it happen again. I have to let Tosca escape before he attacks.
Get away, Shiro! I'll keep him busy so you run to the second floor.
Run, Tosca! I'll hold him back, so you run outside!
Fuck. Hold on. It seems you weren't listening to me at all when I told you to value your life.
She lowers the hand. You point at Lancer and points at me. But I have objections as well. Don't be stupid. I told you I won't heed your warning. It's my role to fight hand to hand. This is the second time I'm fighting him, so I'm more suited for it.
That can't be true. He's a foot soldier. How can I, the ranged attacker, run away from an enemy with no ranged weapons?
That's why. Can't you tell you'll die if he closes in on you? You can just back me up from a distance.
Oh my god. You idiot! I can't back you up! I don't know any magic that's that precise! I bet I'll blow you away along with him!
Don't come out with your destructive personality. First of all, why do you always try to be flashy? Try doing something modest for a change. I can understand Castor not wanting you now.
What?
And we argue for a few minutes. When we begin to tire and wonder how this got started. I notice that Lancer's watching us with a smile. Oh, you're done? I'm in no hurry, so finish it off. It's good to let out everything you have. I cough and glare back at Lancer. I take half a step forward and Tosca's right behind me. Man, we should have done so from the start. I knew I was right. Fuck. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry to say this after you reached a compromise, but I don't intend to fight. I was just unable to ignore you guys. I'm butting in so that I can help you guys a bit. What? Hold on. What did he just say?
Did I mishear you? I think I heard that you're helping us.
Oh, is it hard to understand my point? I guess I'll rephrase it. You two are no match for Castor, so I'll lend you guys a hand. I'm stunned. But Tosca quickly grasps the situation.
Hold on a second, there are sirens.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys can hear them. Stream can probably hear them.
Lancer is having the time of his life. I'm sure he loves this.
Okay, the wee-woos are gone. I see. You really are butting in. Is that really your idea?
No, it's an order from my master. He wants to cooperate against Castor since he's alone. Well, we're just making a quick alliance till we defeat Castor.
That's a sound reason, but I think there's a more reliable guy to go talk to.
Is she talking about Shinji and Gilgamesh? It seems Tosca's trying to figure out if Lancer knows about them. No, they won't do. I don't want to ally with them. I have no complaints about his power, but it's too troublesome to worry about my back when I'm fighting.
Oh, that's the correct choice, Lancer. Is that an order from your master as well?
That's wrong as well. I chose you two out of personal interest. You guys are easier to talk to since we're acquaintances, right? He speaks plainly. It seems that fighting Archer and driving his lance through my heart are the same as becoming acquaintances in his mind. Hold on, Lancer. I was almost killed twice by you, and you think I'm gonna believe you? I do believe so. Your commander-in-chief is a good, frank woman. Such a good woman's helping you out, so you must be good-natured as well, right? I frown. I'm troubled that Tosca's nodding at our enemy's words. So that's it. That's why I thought we might be able to cooperate. Oh, but let me tell you, it's not you guys. I'm the one that thought you guys would make good allies. I can't understand the difference.
Me or you? Me?
I think it's you.
Probably me. Aren't you the cocky one? You brought on the proposal, but you're the one that's going to choose?
Yeah, I've liked you since the first time I saw you. You're beautiful, stubborn, and courageous. If I'm to have a female master, I want someone like you. Lancer looks at Tosca with cool eyes. I don't like him for some reason.
Didn't on your lady friend. Oh, fine. I'm up for it, but it's not decided yet. If Emiya-kun can't trust you, we have to break off negotiations.
So, that's what she's saying. What'll you do, kid? Your character's being tested. Lancer looks at me, trying to suppress his laughter. My answer is... Oh, I don't fucking know.
Alright, I don't mind, but under one condition, I refuse.
Maybe a condition? That's the only... I don't know.
I think it makes sense to have conditions, right?
Yeah, it's hard
I-
to pick that choice without knowing what the condition is.
Right. Because we don't know what Emiya would possibly make that condition to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that refusing is the right answer.
Why don't we try the condition option?
Because we definitely need Coolin's help. We know
Right.
how powerful his gay bulk is.
Like, it makes sense for us to get an ally here. I don't remember how this goes. I think under one condition makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, guys. If you see my hands doing weird shit in the background, it's because Tama keeps going onto the desk, so I'm playing with him. So I have a hair tie in one hand, and it's weird hands. Okay, I need more mouse cable. Thank you.
We have to accept his offer. Even if he's an enemy, he's still right. Tosca and I can't beat Castor. But we might have a chance if Lancer's with us. But... Alright, I'll believe you. But it'll be under one condition. I'll accept your help in defeating Castor, and we'll trust you. But... But what? You want me to tell you who my master is? No, even though we're cooperating, stay away from Tosca. The air freezes. Lancer's speechless, like he's been sucker punched. Ha! I see. Yeah, that's so much more important than who my master is. You're right, kid.
This is so embarrassing, Jake!
She looks embarrassed. He starts laughing heartily. Is that bad? I'm telling you, you can't have Tosca.
I want to die. I want to die 1,000 deaths.
That's not bad at all. Rather, I have a better opinion of you now. Wow, that's great, young lady. This kid's completely fallen for you.
What are you saying? We're not like that. Yes, we're just cooperating.
Really?
You're irritating. What's with that know-it-all face? Come on, say something, Shio. Tell him we're just cooperating. Uh-oh. Hey, say something, you idiot! This is as if we're really... Fuck. This is as if we really do love each other. Oh my god, she used the left word.
Hey, it's not as if. You two are already in love. Even I can tell, and I'm only watching from the side. But she's actually denying it? This is troublesome, kid. Lantern makes a sympathetic gesture. Well, I already know Tosca's troublesome. I dismiss his sympathy with a sour look.
What?
Oh, how reassuring. Then I shall take care when I socialize with her. But she's fun to tease. I'm gonna entertain myself while we're together. You don't mind that condition, right? Alright, we'll go with that. We'll have your help until we beat Castor. Then it's decided. Well, let's shake hands. Lancer walks me unarmed and shakes my hand. There are worrying factors, but we're able to obtain a reliable ally. All that's left is...
I'm so mad! Fine, I'm breaking my ties with you guys! I'm going to go be caster by myself!
How can I calm her down?
God, Tomago, please. Tomago, please. Oh! Everything's fine.
Why is my memory of this route so fucked? Anyway, I'm confused, but it's fine.
You wanna talk about it?
No, not really.
Okay.
I just thought something was coming that apparently isn't.
Was it sex?
No. We walk through the dark forest. Although we don't know his intentions, having Lancer's help means we don't need to stay at the castle anymore. Lancer must have taken a liking to Tosca as he keeps messing with her and getting hit by her.
Hey now, you have your own master, right? Then you should stay quiet. We're going to be enemies after we be casters, so it does no good to be talking. Anything other than planning is unnecessary.
What, we can't talk because we're going to be enemies? You have less composure than you look like you have, huh? It should be natural for you to drink until dawn with someone that gets along with you, even if he may be your enemy.
When are you from? All that friends today, foes tomorrow business is out of style these days. If we don't think things all the way through, it's rude to the other party.
Wow, it sure became a boring world. Lancer does not learn his lesson. I think they've been repeating the same kind of conversation for a while now.
More importantly, Lancer, you know what your role is, right?
Huh? Yeah, leave it to me. You two are gonna fight Caster and her master, right? My role is to fight Archer.
Ought.
I'll have to fight Saber as well in the worst case, but it won't be a problem if all I have to do is keep him busy. He speaks objectively. He isn't even scared of fighting Saber and Archer at the same time. Oh yeah, Saber commented on when we were training in the dojo. She said Lancer's the best when it comes to surviving. She praised him, saying that with his excellent agility and great experience, Lancer would be an impregnable wall if he went to defense. He must have fought many battles from disadvantageous positions when he was alive. This man ran through fatal battles like a panther and lived on. That's fine, but our enemy isn't just Archer and Saber. Caster also has Assassin. In the worst case, you'd have to fight 3. Oh, that's bad. I don't like that guy. I don't even want to fight him one-on-one if I can help it. It's best to kill such a guy from a distance, but there's no point in worrying. Assassin won't be at the church.
How can you say so? If Caster won't go back to the Realta temple, wouldn't she call for her guard, Assassin?
No, Assassin's a servant the Caster summoned, but he has his limitations because of that. He's a heroic spirit summoned to that place. He can't leave the Realta temple. In any case, Caster won't call for him. He's a servant the Caster summoned without letting her master know. She'll try to hide Assassin as long as they're at the church, and I'm sure she won't let go of the Realta temple either.
She won't let go of the Realta temple. Does that mean...
It's because that mountain is the summoning place of the Holy Grail. Do you know? This is the 5th Holy Grail warp. There are only 4 possible places for the Holy Grail to be summoned into. 2 of the places are the Realta temple and the church. By the way, it was summoned in the church in the 3rd war. The 4th one was just summoned in a plane somewhere.
Oh, I thought you didn't think at all, but you're pretty well informed.
It's just that my master's fastidious. I'm not interested in your doings.
Okay, but I see. So the summoning this time is returned to the same place as the first time, huh?
Tosca starts to ponder. Lancer watches her with delight and walks on in the dark forest. The date's already changed. The day should be dawning by the time we get out of this forest. I mentally prepare myself as I walk. We'll fight Caster again in a few hours. I won't hesitate, even if that girl would have turned to our enemy by then. We'll defeat Caster. I have to tell myself that it's the most important thing right now. We head to the battlefield. No matter what may be awaiting us at the church at daybreak, we can't stop now.
Ooh!
It is February. Night, stay night.
Stop.
That's what this chapter is called.
Stop. Okay, this is a good stopping point.